Hi there, it's Karen at Corrie Papercrafts here. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in central Scotland. Today I wanted to share with you how I made this post-it note holder. It holds the 76mm square post-it notes, and as you can see it's got a little pen holder on the side as well. Really quick and easy to make, and I've used the Follow Your Art suite to make it. Now, a little bit of a disclaimer before I start. You might have seen something very similar in the last few days if you've been online and follow a few crafters. Just before I started to film this video, I popped online and lo and behold, my friend and fellow stamper Heather from Nellie's Hobbies has posted one of these very similar on her blog today. It'll be a couple of days before you're seeing this, so the blog post was for Saturday the 8th of June on Heather's blog. So her blog is Stamp With Nellie, but I'll put a link in the description bar below to Heather's project as well. So Heather, if you're watching this, great minds think alike. For anybody else, we've come up with this idea completely separately, but we clearly both love the Follow Your Art suite and clearly have very similar ideas. There are only so many measurements that you can have to fit these post-its, so the likelihood is that the measurements and the score lines are probably the same, but I can assure you we came up with these ideas completely separately. So without any more chat, I'm going to get on and show you how I made it. So if I pop this one to the side and bring in my scoreboard without bashing the tripod, you will need a piece of card which measures, oh gosh, my mind's gone blank, 7 3/8 inches by 3 1/4 inches, and you'll need a piece of designer series paper which measures 3 1/16 by 2 15/16, just because it's not the cover is slightly taller than it is wide, because if you see there's a slight lip round it. So this is the longer edge is the 3 1/16 on the height, and the 2 15/16 are along the length, if that makes sense. So in terms of scoring, you're going to score at 3 1/8, 3 1/2, and 3 7/8, and that's all your scoring done. So if I just get the scoreboard out of the way and pop it somewhere where it's not going to fall over, and fix my chair which keeps moving, you want to, on these outside score lines, you want to fold as normal and give them a bit of a burnish, and the same with this one, just making sure that your edges are even and they line up. But on this middle score line here, you're actually going to fold it the opposite way, so you're folding it against itself. And if you're thinking I've cut it wrong because the measurements are off, that's okay, because that's going to be used up to make the slot for the pen. So what you'll end up with is a bit of this shape, and the idea is that once you've made your pen slot, this will actually fold together like that. So before we do anything else, I'm going to round my corners. And I don't have the trio punch from Stampin' Up yet, so because Stampin' Up retired their corner rounder, I'm using contraband really. And while I'm at it, I'll actually, now let me think, oh gosh, what's the right way and what's the wrong way? That's the wrong way, that's the right way. So I'll just round the corners on my DSP as well. I actually really like these corner rounders, but you've got to watch that all your bits of paper don't actually fall out. Even though they've got a little drawer, they seem to fall out. So, looking at your score lines here, you've got this little bit that sticks up in the middle on the inside of your little folder. What you want to do is, about a third of the way down, make a cut. Whoops. And again, about another third or so, it doesn't have to be exact. Whoops. Make another cut. And then what you want to do is push that through, and that's how you make your little pen loop. So all I've done there is, on that backwards fold, if you like, I've made 2 cuts here, put my little booklet back round the right way, and I've just popped that out the opposite way. And you're actually going to glue this part down here, and then you don't have that overlap, which looked like I'd cut it wrong earlier. But before I do anything else, I'm actually going to attach my DSP onto the front here. So if I get my multi-purpose liquid glue and give it a little bit of a glue, I'm not going to worry too much, but I do want to get as close to the edges as I can, just so that they don't start to lift, because this will be getting opened and shut quite a few times. Now I just need to pick it up without getting covered in glue. And the good thing about using the multi-purpose glue is that you get a bit of room to manoeuvre. I think that looks kind of central. Doesn't matter if it's not perfect. And with being the basic grey, it actually hides quite a lot as well. So that's the front of my holder sorted. And then what you want to do is open it up, and on this part here and this part here, you want to add some adhesive. So I'm just going to get a straight edge on my tearing tape, and then pop that right up to the edge and right up to that fold. And I'm actually going to just give this a snip with scissors to make sure I've got a clean edge. And then the same again on this other flap here, up to the cut edge and right up to the folded edge, because I don't want this to lift at all once I put the pouch together. And then all I'm going to do is add, just because I've got a little bit of a gap here, I want to make sure that bit's stuck down as well. So I'm going to add a little bit of my multi-purpose glue just to that bit too, to make sure that it stays stuck, if I can get any to come out. There we are. Just a tiny little bit. I'm nearly out of this glue, and I don't have my replacement yet. And then all you need to do is just fold this over nice and straight and stick those parts down. Give it a rub with your paper folder. The bit with the tape will be stuck already, and the Tombow really doesn't take long to dry. And then when you open it up, you can see that that part is stuck down, and that's the shape you're looking for once it's finished. Okay, piece of glue just sticking out a little bit. And then what you need to add is your sticky notes. I'm just sticking with the bright yellow for now, and make sure you've got them the right way around. And again, do battle with your nearly empty glue. Put some on the back of here. Just make sure that you don't have it coming out at the edges because you don't want to get glue over the edges of your post-its. And then carefully pop that into your holder and right up to that edge, and just make sure that it's as central as you can manage. That looks about right. And just make sure it's butted right up to that fold, and then just give it a bit of a rub with your paper folder on the back to make sure that your post-its are stuck down. And that's that. So if I put that to the side, I'm going to bring in my bit of card and do a bit of stamping and a bit of die cutting if I can get the big shot in without wrecking the place. So you need a piece of white cardstock, Whisper White, and it starts with art stamp set, and we're going to use this little stamp here, which I did already have mounted on a block. There we are. Here it is here, and I'm going to bring in my basic grey ink. Oops, it's a really fluffy ink pad, this one. I'm not sure why. So bring that in, ink up my stamp and stamp my sentiment. I'm not bothered that it's a bit squint because I'm going to die cut that out anyway. And also, to go round it, I want a piece of basic grey, so I'm hoping that I might be able to die cut these at the same time, she said. So if I move everything out of the way and grab my big shot, which is beside me on the floor, and hopefully, let me just double check that that's in shot. Yep. So I've got my magnetic platform, then a cutting plate which really needs replaced. Let's stay up late and craft, and here are my dies. If you've seen my other videos, you'll know that I'm absolutely in love with the Stitch Shapes framelits, and it's the squares we're using, so I want the smallest one and the next size up. So if I just grab my paper piercer to get this washi tape out of the way and get these two dies out of the packet. I might be doing this out of shot, so you maybe hear a lot of rustling but don't actually see what I'm doing. I'm just grabbing the dies out. So it's the smallest die that I want to put right. Oh, of course the magnets I've decided to mess about. Let me see. Just make sure that's kind of central. Doesn't look too bad. And this one doesn't really matter because she said if the magnets move it around a little bit, as long as it's still on the card. So before any of them do move, I'm just going to pop that in, making sure I don't move that one there, and then gently pop these through. Oops, the big shot. Sorry if I've wobbled the tripod. And also let go of the handle, so hopefully, sometimes they do get stuck. I definitely need new cutting plates. Get that out of the way. So there's my little sentiment, and there's my basic grey shape. So if I now chuck the big shot back out of the way, again without whacking the tripod, success so far. Oops. Bring my post-it notes back in, and then pop in a little bit of glue on the back of here, just enough to hold it in place. And I just offset it. And what I did was I just made sure that the edges of the white square weren't overlapping the stitched edges on the basic grey square. So again, with the multipurpose liquid glue, there's a bit of room for manoeuvre. And then on the back of here, I've just popped another bit of glue, just enough to hold it in place on the front of my post-it notes. Just pop that in the middle. That looks about right, I think. Let me just check, it's maybe a little bit high. That's fine. Just give it a press down, and all that's left is just to pop my pen, oops, in the side of there, and that's my post-it holder made. I think these are lovely. I really like them. I don't want to give them away now. So that's all there is to it. Watch out for another video, because I've actually made little baby ones as thank you gifts as well. So watch out for another video very soon showing you how I made the little ones as well. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you again soon. If you want to get notification of my next video when it comes out, I would love it if you would subscribe and click on the little bell icon as well, and you'll get a notification every time I post a video. But thanks for watching for now. Take care. Bye bye.